Hey everybody, it's Amy. Welcome to Become Your Own Favorite Chef. It's Tuesday, which means that I'm going to eat dinner with my mom and sister. And I told them, just come on over here, I'll cook you something, make it easy on everybody. Asked them, what do you want? They want something healthy and filling. Healthy and filling, I can do that. After thinking about it, it's winter time, kind of cold, I want something comforting, I decided to make my tomato bisque. It's extremely healthy, it's got tons of vegetables and nutrients. However, it has just enough decadence added that it's very filling. In fact, it's the most filling soup I've ever had, and it's a meal in itself. So, let's get some tomato bisque on the stove. Alright, we're diving right into cooking this. So I've turned my pan on to medium heat. I'm going to add a couple tablespoons of olive oil, just to coat the bottom. And what we're going to do first is saute a bunch of vegetables so that gets them cooking and their flavors start to come out pretty early on. But first off, I chopped up about 20 turkey pepperonis. I did turkey pepperonis because they're healthier, but they still give that same flavor in recipes that regular turkey or that regular pepperonis do. So why not be healthy? Now I'm not going to show you how to chop any of the vegetables that we're putting in this pot today, because you can rough chop these. They don't have to be pretty, they don't have to be a certain size, because we're going to blend all the soup together after it's cooked for a while. So chop anything any way you like, it'll be okay. So I'm going to let these pepperonis cook down for a few minutes until they start to brown. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and chop up my onion and my celery and my carrot. Okay, our pepperoni's been cooking for 4 or 5 minutes. It's starting to get crispy. And if you don't have turkey pepperonis, or you don't like the spice that it adds, you could use a slice of bacon instead. You really want just something that gives a little bit of depth of flavor, tiny bit of a meaty flavor. But of course, if you're a vegetarian, you would totally leave this out. I have roughly chopped 1 medium yellow onion. It's really a Spanish onion. I've roughly chopped 1 medium carrot and also 1 stalk of celery. I know this doesn't look much like tomato soup right now, but the onion gives it a little extra bite. The carrot makes it a little sweet. And the celery, I don't know, just gives a little extra flavor that makes it taste extra homemade. I like it that way. I'm going to let these saute in this olive oil with all that pepperoni juice just for a couple minutes, and then we're going to add our garlic. Because you know I'm not making a soup if it doesn't have garlic in it. These have been cooking down for about 2 to 3 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and add our garlic. I'm going to add 4 tablespoons of pre-minced garlic. If you've got the time and effort to chop up your own garlic cloves, you might only need 3 tablespoons. This does seem to be not quite as strong, but as I say, who's got time to chop up your own garlic cloves? Ain't nobody got time for that. We're going to let this saute just a couple more minutes, but I'm going to do a few things to it in the meantime. Let's add a little bit of salt and pepper. I'm just going to give a quick shake here, maybe half a teaspoon of pepper. I'll start off with just about a half a teaspoon of salt, but more than likely we'll add some more later on. Alright, we've let our vegetables cook down a couple more minutes with that garlic. It's starting to roast and turn brown. So the last thing before our tomatoes, we need to add some herbs. I love the flavor of basil in tomato soup, so I'm going to do half a teaspoon of dried basil here. I also love parsley though. About half a teaspoon of parsley. And I'll add our bay leaf as soon as I get our tomatoes in. So I don't have my own garden with tomatoes or anything. I went to the store and I got 3 12-ounce cans of crushed tomatoes. Please make them crushed. The whole ones don't seem to cook as fast, and the sauce really just doesn't have the same flavor. So I've got 3 12-ounce cans here, so 36 ounces total. All right, we have our tomato sauce in there. What I'm going to do is go ahead and add just a tiny bit of chicken stock or vegetable stock, whichever you prefer, unless you like your soup extra, extra thick. This will get thinner as it cooks, however, so don't add too much stock because the vegetables are still going to cook down and release a lot more of their liquid. We're even going to add some cream at the end. And then even just pureeing it together is going to make it a thinner texture. So for now, I'm just going to put maybe half a cup of chicken stock. Again, just to give it some extra flavor, and you are more than welcome to use vegetable stock if you prefer. Add our bay leaf. And I'm going to stick a lid on this and let this cook down on medium heat for about 10 minutes until it really gets heated through. Then I'll turn it down to low medium heat and let it cook for another 30 minutes or so until the flavors get infused. Alright, it's been cooking on medium heat for about 10 minutes and it's boiling, definitely warm through. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that to medium-low heat. I'm going to let it cook quite a while this way until I feel like the flavors are infused enough. But even at this point, we can go ahead and taste it, see if we need to start adding anything, which we normally do. I need salt. Garlic salt. That'll always give it a little extra kick besides the saltiness. So probably half a teaspoon in there at least. And we're going to let that cook another 10-15 minutes and we'll come and taste it again. Alright, since we turned our heat down, it's been about another 10-12 minutes. And I can see everything's starting to get really soft. And honestly, it's hard to tell the exact flavor of what this soup's going to be until you really do blend all of the vegetables and puree it all together. So I think things are soft enough now that we can go ahead and do that. I'm going to take the bay leaf out first. And I used to just use a blender. And I'd slowly pour this into a blender, puree it in the blender, and then pour it back and let it continue cooking for another 10 minutes. But I got this fancy little hand blender from Manuel Pruitt. So I want to use this, but again, you can use just a regular old blender. Ooh-wee. Well, that took about 5 whole minutes. Maybe I should have stuck it in the blender. Anyway, now that we've got all of our smooth texture and we pureed everything together, we can give it another taste, see what else we need to add. Hot. It's really good, but I think it still needs some salt. In fact, I'm going to grab the garlic salt because that's my favorite. And I think it needs to be a little more herby. I don't feel like I taste the basil and the parsley as much as I would like. This might be exactly what you like, so make sure you taste it for yourself first. But I want to add a little more basil. Just maybe another ½ teaspoon. A little more refreshing parsley. Alright. Just going to stir this up. Doesn't have too much longer to cook. Let that go for another 5 minutes or so and we'll taste it one more time. When we finally have the flavor we want, we'll add our cream. But I'll go ahead and warn you, once you add that cream, it's really going to cool off all these flavors. So if you feel like it's too strong right now, it's okay. That cream's going to cool it off. Also, this is a good time where if you think that this is too thick for soup, because it's really like pasta sauce, you can add a little bit more of your chicken stock. But that cream's also going to thin it down just a little bit. And again, I want this to be a hearty meal, so I want it to be thick. Alright, our soup's cooked another 5 minutes, so we can give it one last taste. It's good. Almost tastes spicy. There's so much garlic, but it doesn't taste garlicky. And there's enough herbs. I can definitely taste the basil and the parsley now, so it's time for the final step. We're gonna add our finishing touches. Now I know I told my mom and sister this was healthy, so I'm only gonna add a little bit of cream and then the rest is gonna be milk. But if you wanna make this super indulgent, go ahead and add a lot of cream. I'm gonna do maybe 1/4 cup here, not much. So if I wasn't worried about health here, I'd go ahead and add another probably 1/2 cup of cream, but I'll add about 1/2 cup of skim milk. It'll help thin it out. Still give it the dairy it needs. And some people like their bisques real tomatoey. This is pretty tomatoey. If you like yours creamer, you can always add some more milk, or cream or 1/2 and 1/2 is a good medium. In fact, I usually tend to like bisques that are orange instead of red. They got so much cream. But I promise I'd make a healthy dinner. The last thing I'm going to add just as a finishing oil is white truffle infused extra virgin olive oil. And I'm going to go ahead and turn my heat off. This oil is a finishing oil. It does not taste as good if you cook it for very long. It turns bitter. If you don't have truffle oil, garlic infused extra virgin olive oil works well too. In fact, let's do a little bit of that. Can't hurt. And the final thing you want to add at the end really does just give it a smoky flavor and a little bit of extra salt, is a little bit of Parmesan. You don't want this to taste cheesy. You just want people to say, what is that? And that's that. All right, so here with my mom. And you can't eat this soup or any soup without cracked bread. So if you haven't made my cracked bread yet, what are you doing? Make it. And let's taste it. Okay. You have to be honest. Okay. Don't lie to me.
Oh, Amy, that is so good.
Really?
Very good.
I think it's really good.
Delicious.
It's better with the bread though. Happy Tuesday.